been a rather exciting first week for 45 and now 47 with a flurry of executive orders signed. Take a look.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Whoa! With Trump's announcement that the U.S. government no longer recognizes imagination, only reality, he's really throwing us back to the Stone Age on this one, people. Good evening and welcome to We Lie to You News, our first episode with 47 back on the job. On just his first day in office, Trump signed more executive orders than there used to be genders. Tonight we'll give you a lightning fast rundown of the most exciting details you may have missed, along with a sneak peek at Zuckerberg taking a sneak peek. Let's take a look.
What is this one? Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir?
Ooh, that's a big one.
That is a big one, but many are wondering, how will the world be healthy without the World Health Organization having authority on enforcing global lockdowns, unnervingly safe vaccines, doing the bidding of China, and coordinating global responses to the emergencies it creates? Unfortunately, it does look like we're up shit creek without a paddle on this one, folks. The organization, who has Bill Gates as one of the largest donors and influencers, the organization who has never once done any level of health assessment on you as an individual, will no longer be dictating to you what you need to do to be healthy. But a word to the wise. If I've learned one thing through the years of enjoying the US's $500 million membership to the World Health Organization, is that the more controlled you are, the healthier you'll be. Next up on the list, Trump signed an executive order to secure our border, which I think jeopardizes our border. As part of the action, Trump revoked 78 executive orders Biden had in place that secured the border by making it deliberately unsecure. Biden always played chess, not checkers, people. Trump has prepared 10,000 troops to deploy to the border and plans to use U.S. military aircraft for migrant deportation flights. So they get a free flight out of the deal. That's not so bad. While Biden intentionally flew over 300,000 illegals into the U.S., Trump will now be deliberately flying them out of the U.S. It is really hard to tell at this point, but we'll see whose strategy proves to be better at securing the border. Now take a look at the next one.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
I like that executive order. My Google Maps is calling it the Gulf of Mexico. Huh. Google is wrong. Next up, in a grave act of racism, President Trump ordered all government agencies to shut down all their DEI offices by 5 p.m. the next day, putting an end to hiring based on racial discrimination.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
DEI has a proven track record of great success, so it's apparent that Trump just wants to hurt America with this one. With a fresh refill of ink in his pen, the next executive order that Trump signed withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Treaty.
We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty.
Save $1 trillion? Well, that doesn't benefit Ukraine, so this news anchor doesn't see the benefit for America. This is a shame, people, because the Paris Climate Treaty's benefit is directly proportional to your ability to pretend that the climate science that you can't question is all true. President Trump isn't really known for pretending all that well. But the good news for climate change enthusiasts, on just his second day in office, President Trump eliminated global warming. Take a look.
Donald Trump's inauguration was yesterday, and here in Molina, Florida, we have snow. Day 2 of his presidency, and he's already fixed global warming.
This just in! President Trump has also pardoned all January 6 political prisoners / hostages.
But now the work begins. We have to bring them home. And tonight I'm going to be signing on the J6 hostages pardons.
Full pardon? It's a shame too, because Liz Cheney and the January 6th committee had those criminals right where they wanted them. In other news, just prior to leaving office, President Biden gave a presidential pardon for crimes committed to Liz Cheney and the January 6th committee for the justice they worked to bring against those January 6th criminals. And before we close, the Inauguration Moment of the Day award goes to Mark Zuckerberg. It turns out the woman whose intellect Zuckerberg was caught admiring was a lady brought to the inauguration by Jeff Bezos. The apparent hooker wore a bra with a white jacket not really covering it, and the hooker's face seemed to be incredibly deformed through some kind of swollen lip disease. We're all glad that Bezos brought such a classy lady to the historic event, but most of all, Zuckerberg was glad he brought her. That's it for today's news. Tune in next time for the latest on how Trump is destroying America by making it much better. It's getting really terrible. Good night. You know, much like maybe you, I'm a Joe Rogan fan, but I also admire him as a person and his dedication to taking care of his body. We all know what CNN made him famous for, getting over China virus in 2 or 3 days. And he's always talking about how he's using precision medicine and supplements to get over injuries. And if you look at the guy, he's in phenomenal shape, he's super strong, and he's 56 years old. And one of the supplements he's mentioned he takes is NMN. But instead of me telling you about what Joe Rogan said, here's what Joe Rogan said.
I also take supplements. And in fact, most of my colleagues are in the field of aging, or anti-aging as people call it. So I take NMN every morning.
What is NMN?
Good question. So let me take a quick step back.
Sure.
So about 20 years ago, Lenny Guarente and a team of us at MIT discovered a set of genes that controls aging. And what they do is they protect all organisms on the planet, plants, bacteria, humans, from deterioration and disease. They're like the Pentagon. They sense when we're hungry, sense when we're exercising, and they send out the troops to defend us. And so we think that these genes are responsible for the effects of dieting and exercise, which is great. What that means is we can now mimic that with molecules.
I feel like I should make a shopping list.
So with NMN, you get improved endurance, strength, energy, weight management, and anti-aging. Personally, I love the longevity effects of NMN. I notice it in my skin. I've been taking it for over 2 years. You know how it is to have good energy, to be strong, mentally fit, and have a long quality life. Nobody's going to do that for you other than you. So check out Black Forest Supplements NMN. Get your super potent NMN at blackforestsupplements.com/awaken. And for a 48-hour period only, Black Forest Supplements is offering an amazing deal. Buy 2 bottles, get 1 free. Take advantage now at blackforestsupplements.com/awaken. You'll thank me later.